Sir, the bill implicitly proposes an escape route mechanism. While the Energy Conservation Act 2001 deals with saving energy, the present bill deals with saving environment and conserving climatic change. This bill does not clarify how carbon credit certificates will be traded or who will be regulating such trading.
Honorable P. Wilson, we are discussing the Energy Conservation Amendment Bill 2022. Please.
Thank you, Deputy Chairman, sir. Sir, I appreciate the good intention of the Honorable Minister for taking earnest efforts to control the carbon emission and to protect the environment, and I welcome the same. But, sir, I am sorry to state that the bill has a lot of legal infirmities which goes to the root of the matter, and it requires reconsideration and reintroduction. Sir, I have to say something good about this bill. The bill gives the Union government the authority to implement a carbon credit trading system in the country. An organization that emits more carbon dioxide than what is allowed may purchase carbon credits. It aims to incentivize the use of clean energy by issuing carbon-saving certificates. This bill, by mandating the use, aims to prescribe minimum consumption of non-fossil energy sources as energy or feed sources by the designated consumers with an aim to reduce carbon consumption and restrain carbon emissions to the atmosphere. The bill aims to mandate use of non-fossil sources by establishing carbon mandatory body within the field of energy conservation. Sir, I am sorry to say this, and it is my duty to say so. The bill is ultra vires of the Energy Conservation Act 2001. While the Energy Conservation Act 2001 deals with saving energy, the present bill deals with saving environment and conserving climatic change due to the usage of the fossil and non-fossil fuel while generating electricity. The scope and objective of the Principal Act does not take in the purpose or object of the present bill. Sir, the bill relates to monitoring and controlling of carbon emission and climate change, which is an aspect of the environmental laws. The question that arises is whether these aspects can be legislated pursuant to the power given under the entry 38 list 3. My answer is no. The power under which the environmental laws can be formed is given under entry 97 list 1. Therefore, I give you a suggestion. The way section 110(1) of the Motor Vehicles Act 1988 provides the ministry protection related, similar provisions should be introduced in the proposed bill also. A very effective minister, Mr. Bhupendra Yadav, is there, who is dealing with the Environment Ministry. The Principal Act designated Ministry of Power as the nodal agency for the regulation of the scheme, and the Bureau of Energy Efficiency under the Ministry of Power will be the implementing agency. However, as per the rules specified under the Government of India business rules, allocation of business rules, the Ministry of Power is responsible for the general policy in the power sector and issues related to the energy policy and coordination, and energy conservation and energy efficiency pertaining to the power sector. Sir, when we talk about the carbon credit trading, its ambit is conservation of environment and to protect climate change, which the statement of object and reasons also says so. Sir, under the business allocation rules, it is the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change which is responsible for the regulation of the climate change, environmental norms, forestry and related matters. If observed accurately, the proposed amendment majorly concerns the environmental aspect, which falls to the expertise of the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Changes. By making Ministry of Power as the nodal agency, it is acting without jurisdiction and usurping the power of the Ministry of Environmental and Forest Climatic Changes. Sir, by virtue of the doctrine of pith and substance, since the proposed amendment is to give effect to the COP26 declaration held at Glasgow in 2021 to lower greenhouse gas emissions and therefore combat climate change, it falls within Article 253, thereby giving the Parliament the power to make laws for enforcing international agreements within the country. Since it gives effect to the international environmental obligation of the member states, the law cannot be brought in effect without making the Ministry of Environment and Forest and Climatic Change the enforcing authority who has got the adequate expertise in this sector. Sir, similar schemes in USA, UK and Switzerland, the Environment Ministry or the Environment Regulator implements schemes similar to the one proposed under the bill. Sir, the Ministry has not specified who will regulate and govern the carbon credit market. Sir, the bill suggests the alternate of carbon credit trading and carbon credit certificates. The government can issue energy saving certificates to those industries which consume less than their maximum allotted energy. However, these certificates can be sold to customers who consume higher than the maximum allowed energy threshold, providing for a framework for energy trading. Usually, trading platforms are regulated by respective sectoral regulators, which is specified in the Act itself. This bill does not clarify how carbon credit certificates will be traded or who will be regulating such trading. Carbon credit certification is based on technical parameters of the emission rate and composition, and thereby brings the certification process within the expertise of the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climatic Changes. Sir, the bill implicitly proposes an escape route mechanism. The introduction of the carbon markets in India is a welcome step, but the scheme might end up just providing an escape route mechanism to carbon-intensive industrial sources. A successful carbon market requires a high enough carbon price that will disincentivize polluting behavior. This lays emphasis on the planning of the carbon market schemes in India in such a way that the value of the carbon certificates is increased and can actually make an impact on the ground. The penalty mentioned in these amendments, sir, goes up to 10 lakhs, along with an additional penalty of not more than twice the price of the oil, equivalent of energy consumed above the prescribed norm. It may be apt for industries of a certain scale and cannot be uniformly applied to all industries. Therefore, when it comes to bigger players of this carbon-intensive sector, it may not be, it will be stringent enough, and it will not be equitable. It should be based on the profit margins the companies make rather than the rate of the carbon emission. Sir, summing up, sir, similar parameters are observed in UK, USA and Switzerland under the cap and trade system. Sir, summing up, I would like the Honourable Minister to consider the following suggestions. The Ministry of Environment and Forest Climatic Change should be brought in for the proper implementation of the proposed scheme, since they are the expert body in the concerned area of the proposed legislation. Number two, a regulatory body should be established to regulate the carbon credit trading certificates in open market. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Wilson ji.